Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with our event recap on Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. This past month saw actually quite a few tie-ins. I think haven't had this many direct story affecting tie-ins since the first couple months. So we'll start with Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 6. So, the lanterns at Riot are attacked by shadow demons, while on Earth, the assembled heroes are dealing with the Dark Army, which has now gone on to add which is not just consisting of the society, but also Pariah's heralds, so to speak. Doomsday, Darkseid, Spectre, and so forth. But Deathstroke is trying to fight against Pariah's control, but only to a degree. He's attacked. On elsewhere, the Justice League are reassembling after having rescued themselves from their Earths. Batman arrives on the scene in Washington. Jace Fox, to be exact. And he brought some help with him. Connor Hawk, Nubia, Steel, Blue Beetle, Miss Martian, the Ray. Pariah seemingly destroys a handful of heroes that go after him. But the League now has Pariah's machine. They're trying to use that, but yeah, basically the heroes fight it out, and Pariah is seemingly destroyed. But the villains are still under the influence. So, but Doomsday's coming after John Kent when Superman arrives on the scene, and father and son punch Doomsday together as the Green Lantern Corps and the Justice League show up. But now they've got to deal with everything. However, the issue ends with Deathstroke looking insanely ripped, holding an unconscious Nightwing and his daughter Ravager. With the next issue teasing everyone versus Deathstroke. Okay. Then we've got we actually haven't had a tie-in in I Am Batman number 15. Turns out that the events of the previous issue 14, issue 14's ending, was brought on by Sinestro, and when Jace realizes something's up, he flees the scene and ends up fighting against Sinestro. He regroups for a moment and then goes back out. And this time, however, he actually manages to succeed in defeating Sinestro. even with Sinestro giving him a yellow ring, which Jace uses to take down Sinestro and whoop his bitch ass. And Pariah seemingly punishes Sinestro for his failure, while Batman heads to the Hall of Justice. I'm glad they at least did a tie-in, but yeah. And like I said, the entire arc was technically a tie-in arc, but it doesn't affect the event. What's going on in Dark Crisis rarely affected the book, aside from it being mentioned near the end of the arc. The next book we got was Dark Crisis Young Justice number 6, wrapping up the tie-in mini. Mickey Mxyzptlk had been revealed as the villain behind the whole everything, but and Young Justice had come to, or had returned to Earth Zero, but Mickey followed, and basically he was being a douche to everybody. But Impulse came up with a plan to save everyone. And they managed to defeat Mickey, all working together. And yeah, they kind of discussed some of their issues, and then headed to the battle at the Hall of Justice. And that is where the series ends. This was a nice time. I dug it. It was nice seeing Young Justice reunite. When I was first getting into DC, the characters from Young Justice, the main four, Robin, Superboy, Impulse, and Wonder Girl, had all been moving towards becoming Titans. So, and then new characters were introduced, and they did get pushed aside. I think a lot of it was just people not knowing what to do with the characters, with how story arcs had gone previously. It was just like, okay, so what do we do? Like, okay, well, Bruce Wayne's literal son Damian is now Robin, so what do we do with Tim Drake, his actual definitively don't have to retcon it, adopted son? So, the next book was World's Out of Justice League Batman number 1. World's Out of Justice League Batman. By and large, it really just focuses on the Batman Earth, which is very post-apocalyptic, and Batman and Bruce Wayne have been separated. They've been made into two separate beings. Bruce Wayne runs this utopian society, and Batman is the nocturnal Avenger who constantly shows up. He's always trying to figure out who killed his parents, and eventually and it's explained that eventually he figures it out, and figures everything out. Ends up going to Arkham, and after killing that particular villain, and so it's just this constant, yet another, and the story with the Knight and Bruce both being mind wiped, and Alfred choosing choosing Zsasz to be the new target for the Knight. And finally, we have Dark Crisis: The Dark Army. So this was hinted at in the one shot featuring Superman, Swamp Thing, and Raven. But Damian puts together a team of heroes to maybe get an idea of what to do differently. The team he puts together is himself, Sideways, Power Girl, Dr. Light, and Red Canary. Red Canary's kind of added at the last minute as Damian saves her and tries to get her out of. But basically, journeying through the multiverse, other Earths that have faced the Dark Crisis, seeing what went down. They end up on Earth 53, which is an ape Earth, because this would be where JL 8 takes place. Damian is his usual condescending self to everyone. And Dr. Light manages to find new ways to use her powers in a manner that basically kind of say, realizing I can do this, well, okay. They end up they end up at the House of Heroes and running into Justice League Incarnate, who have been taken over by, who've been added to the Dark Army. And this is where it comes in that with what Dr. Light can do. And she basically uses her powers to free all of the members of Justice League Incarnate. And then they head out into Earth Zero to join in the big final battle. But Dr. Multiverse takes a look at everyone's timelines, and we see apparently Power Girl, Red Canary, Sideways, and Dr. Light all have fairly varied multiversal timelines, whereas Damian just has one. Him becoming Batman 666. That's where the one shot ends, and that pretty much wraps up the video. Dark Crisis number 7 should be wrapping up the series probably by the end of the month. This week I know there was Dark Crisis Warzone. I'm not sure going to be any additional tie-ins, but I guess we'll see over the next few weeks. Anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.